What's going on, everybody? It's Natasha Watkins, your favorite realtor. We are back again. It is another Monday, and you know what time it is. It's the time where we go over what the analysis we analyze. I can't talk today. We analyze what's happening in the market, and we go to see what the critics are saying. The people who specialize in figuring out these real estate streets. They specialize in what's happening in the market. And today we have another exciting show for you. We're going to touch base again on mortgage rates, which I'm excited to touch base on. So let's get started. All right, here we go. So we're talking about mortgage rates today. Let me bring down the volume a little bit. I think we're a little bit high pitched. We should be fine here. Okay, let's get right into it. Mortgage rates. This is exciting for everybody because we are starting to see again that continue to see that downward trend. Headed into the new year, mortgage rates remain in a downward trend. When we looked at what happened last year in 2023 in September is when we started to see that increase in mortgage rates, and we can see that trend going up. I want to say this may be a little bit deceiving because I remember one week where interest rates were about 8%. It's saying we peaked off at 7.79, and that's according to U.S. Weekly average. And then we started falling off again and coming back. And then towards the end of 2023, we're at 6.69. Again, I remember seeing 6.1. Oh, I think that was early 2024 that we hit 6.1. I could be wrong on that particular one. We need to go in a little bit and dig in deep on it. But just overall, we continue to see a decrease in interest rates, and that's good for buyers and sellers. That's good in terms of buyers because it's more affordable. It brings more people back into the market. And it's also good for sellers as well because now they have more options. They have more clients that are looking at their home. And then also if you're selling to buy, more people are going to come to the market as well because they're seeing those pullback in interest rates. And now when you sell your home, you all actually have a good chance of getting something to buy as well. So that's a win-win on all situations. It also appears that mortgage rates are now falling again. They will almost certainly not fall to pandemic's lows. So we wanted you guys to keep that in mind. I don't think we're going to see 3 to 4. I'm just being honest. I don't think we're going to see 3 to 4% coming into 2024. I don't think we're going to see that for a while. Although we may not see rates for pandemic's low, although we may soon see rates under 6%, which would be low by pre-Great Recession standards. So again, we're going to come down to, I want to say we're going to be in the fives, either mid to high fives. Hopefully we hit low fives. And that opens up a lot of opportunity for a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers as well. And this is according to the Center for Economics Research. So they've done the analysis. They checked and this is where they project us to be coming into 2024, which I have to agree. I think we're going to hit 5%. I know we're going to hit 5%. It's just whether or not it's going to be a low 5, mid 5, or high 5. And I'm seeing mid to low 5. Honestly, a market turn can be expected as mortgage rates have plunged in the recent weeks. Again, this is Lawrence Yun, Chief Economics of NAR. That's the National Association of Realtor. Again, we're predicting to continue to see a decrease in these interest rates, which makes a lot of sense. We're starting to see the market flip a little bit and change a little bit. Depending on what happens this year, we may see a slight fluctuation with what's going on in terms of politically. And this can always affect where the interest rates are. We are in a election year, so that can play a big part in it as well. I just want to throw that tidbit in. Okay. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the year of 5. We want to focus in right now on that 5.5 million in total home sales. This is going to be big. It's going to be a lot of opportunities for people who missed the boat at that 3 to 4%, because although the interest rates were so low, these prices have skyrocketed in homes, which made no sense. I think a lot of people who hit the interest rates at, the 6 to 7% are gonna be the ultimate winners. I think they were able to get the homes at a little bit more of a stable price, where the prices stabilized a little bit. It wasn't these astronomical offers where you're bidding against 10 to 15 people and you're going $100,000 over asking. I think at that particular time and point, at that 6%, the 7%, you were able to actually negotiate, because there was so many fewer people in the market who were bidding on these homes. And even at that particular time and point, I want you guys to keep in mind, being someone who was out there in these real estate streets, we were still having compete against 5 to 6 offers. You still had to have a good agent who was able to write an offer and make your offer look ultimately attractive, because it's not just about putting in an offer, it's how you package that deal as well. You want to make sure that you present your buyers in that best light possible, making your offer irresistible. All right, 78% of mortgage rates less than 5%. So we looked at this last year as well. This is according to FHFA loan with mortgage rates at the time of origination. So we talked a little bit about this last year. 22%, 23% are under 3% nationwide. And this is according to FHA. 3 to 4%, that's about 38% of people have mortgage rates in those vicinities. 4 to 5%, about 19%. 5 to 6%, about 9.8%, and 6 and greater is about 11%. So this is just breaking down what it looks like, where people interest rates are in accordance to those averages. All right, lock-in rates, limited new inventory. If you've been following us on Friday, where we've done the Friday analysis for Queens, Suffolk, and Nassau County, where we go over where those inventory rates are. We've seen a trend over the past couple of weeks, the past 8 weeks, where we've been seeing an increase in inventory. So there's more homes on the market in almost all of those areas, in Nassau, Queens, and Suffolk. And Nassau, we're also considering multifamily as well. There's never as many multifamily. Sorry, not Nassau. In Queens, we're considering multifamily as well. There's never as many multifamily sales as there is single family, but we still saw an increase in inventory of those as well. So this chart, when we look at the mindset of these people at these different interest rates, which is interesting, people who are under 3% are not selling. They feel they've locked in those interest rates. But I want to add this caveat to it as well. And this is according to FHFA. The baby boomers and those Gen Xers, if they purchase right, they have a ton of equity. And we're going to go into that a little bit later in terms of cash sale. They have a lot of cash to spend right now on their property. If you fall into that category and you've had your home for a while, let's review and see if we want to downsize a bit. Get you something where it's a little bit warmer, or whatever the case may be. 3 to 4% probably not going to sell. 4 to 5% must think before selling. So they're going to seriously consider it, and they're going to weigh the options in terms of how much they're going to be paying those monthly payments before they actually make that decision to sell. 5 to 6%, yes, will sell. Sorry, probably would sell. People who are over 6% will sell. So we have some options in terms of inventory. And as I said, we've been seeing an increase in inventory over the past couple of months as well. And the funny thing is, if you join us on those Friday lives, we've seen less days on market as well. We're seeing an increase in inventory, but overall, I want to say multifamily, we did not see that decrease in days on market, or was it single family? One of them we didn't see last week. We didn't see a decrease in days on market. But overall, for the past couple of weeks, as we've done those inventories, and those are important for you to judge where the market is, We've seen an increase in inventory and a decrease in days on the market. So we're seeing more homes hit, but less days on the market. So I want you guys to keep that in mind as well. We might be at the peak lock-in effect. Some move up or lifestyle sellers might be coming to terms with the fact that 3 and 4% mortgage rates aren't returning anytime soon. If the lock-in effect eases up further in 2024, it could help boost existing home sales from the very low levels experienced at the end of 2023. And this is according to Lance Lambert, founder of Resi Club. So they've looked at the data depending on your market, because we track the data every Friday in our market in Queens, Nassau, Suffolk County. I did not see that much pullback throughout the year of 2023. We saw a little bit of fallback towards the end, and I think that's what he's touching on towards the end of 2023. But it wasn't that big for me to feel that it was noticeable. We were still selling homes, you know. That's just my opinion based upon my market, and we got to say that, you know, it differs from market to market as well. Homeowners who are selling aren't influenced by rates, with 90% of successful November sellings saying they were going to sell regardless of what the rates were. So these people had a need, whether it was they needed to downsize a bit because, you know, the kids are off to college, the kids have moved out and everything like that, you know, or they move into Florida for an easier life, where the sun is beautiful. They move into Texas, wherever the case may be. You know, they had a need, and they've had a lot of equity in their homes, depending on what generation we're thinking about and everything, and when they purchase. So that factor of interest rates were not a factor, because for a lot of them, they had the equity. And even over the last 2 years, when we think about those pandemics era, we saw a lot of equity in these homes. So that's big. Roughly half, 50.6% of November buyers were going to buy regardless of interest rates. And another quarter, 23.9%, purchased with cash. Cash will continue to be king even as rates ease next year. And no matter the direction of rates, household buying out of necessity would continue to find a way to purchase. And this is what I was talking about in the last slide. And this is according to Bright MLS. You know, there's certain people. There's two things we want to take away from. People are going to need homes. People need someplace to live. Are they going to continue to rent, especially in New York with rent skyrocketing? Or does it make sense for people, especially those who are working from home, to move a little bit further from the city, maybe into Suffolk County, and find something at affordable rate, at an affordable price, or an affordable monthly payment? And I think that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that our buyers are focusing on the monthly payment, because that's what's most important. Doesn't matter what the cost, not that it doesn't matter, it does matter, but the cost of the home isn't the only thing. The interest rate isn't the only thing. Insurance isn't the only thing. Whether or not it's flood insurance is not the only thing. It's the combination of everything that comes down and breaks down that monthly payment at the end of the day, because we always have options, you know, whether it's a 2-1 buy down, a 3-2-1 buy down, or wherever the case is, whether it's taking the equity from an existing home and throwing that over into a different home where we can bring down those monthly payments. There's options out there, and you just need to hit the right agent and the right lender for them to figure out the way for you to get that home that you need. And then this goes back, that 23.9% that they're talking about, that paid with cash. That's what we were talking about earlier in this live. These people have equity in their home, and they can tap into that equity and make the move. You know, I had a listing appointment this afternoon with a gentleman and his dad. You know, it was a tough one. You know, their mom has dementia. They need to find a new home. He wants to bring them closer to where he is. I'm telling you the story to tell you this. They've been in that home 52 years. That's paid off. Only thing they're doing right now is paying taxes. So they have so much equity in that home, and they've paid it off. So barring fees and everything like that, they're walking away and they'll possibly be able to purchase something further out upstate, all cash. It's a sad situation why they're moving, but there's people like that who can just purchase all cash or move out of the New York market into a different market where the home prices are a little bit cheaper, and they're about to retire. They've been in these properties forever and they have all this equity. This opens up two things. They're going to possibly buy one for one and maybe even come away with a little bit extra cash in their pockets. And this opens up homes and opportunities for people who are looking to buy. And as these rates come down, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this well, you're going to see a huge influx of people. Coming out of the pandemic, people has realized how important it is to purchase a home. Coming out of the pandemic, the work to home ratio of people in New York has changed. I know a lot of people now are working 3 days, 2 days out of the office, and the other days they're working from home. So now the home office is way more important. So once that interest rate plummets a little bit more, you're going to have a lot more competition. Take a look at your affordability. In 2024, we think that the interest rates are going to hit mid fives. That's what I think, at least. Based upon all the numbers and everything, and speaking to different mortgage people that I spend a lot of time with, I'm seeing mid fives. We don't want to wait till then to be competitive in a home, looking for a home when we know that there's limited inventory. Do I think that inventory is going to increase in 2024? Most definitely. But if you can find a home and just be financing in the next 6 to 8 months, once those interest rates hit mid fives or wherever they sit, you're in a better position than those people who are putting in multiple offers or multiple homes. So don't wait for the price for the interest rate to plummet too low, because as the interest rate goes down, more people are going to flood into this market, especially coming into spring, because that brings out everybody. All right, top 3 reasons buyers purchase decision. Top 3 reasons buyers pause decision. Reason given for pausing their purchase. Multiple could be chosen. So this is a chart stating why people have decided to fall over out the buying process. The first one, and no surprise, is mortgage rates. People see the rates went up. People wanted 3 and 4. They saw friends who already own homes refinanced into 3 and 4. They saw people who paid an exorbitant amount of money for their home in them 3 and 4s, and that's what they wanted. Inventory. Now, inventory is one of the things that's uncontrollable. I can't go out there and force people to sell their homes. I wish I could. I wish I could go out there with the cops and be like, look, you're selling your home. But we can't do that, So inventory is one of those uncontrollables. And I want to say inventory goes back to interest rates as well, because of a lot of those sellers held on to their homes because they locked in sweet interest rates, whether it's to refinance or whatever the case is. They're at that 3 to 4%. They're like, look, I can't find this deal ever again. Where am I going to get this sweet deal? And depending on how long you've been in your home, I want you to assess your equity. Look into it and see how much equity you have in that particular home, and see if we can pay down enough for you to make that move. Whether it is you need to you want to downsize and you're going to need to retire, or you need more space. Whatever the case is, let's look at the numbers and make the numbers make sense for you. All right, let's move on. We now forecast 3 consecutive 25 basis points cut in March, May, and June to reset the policy rates from a level that Powell has recently taken describing as well into restrictive territories rather than just restrictive. So now we're well into those places where, and and I want to push back on this a little bit. I think we've been seeing a little bit of a fall off. So we're going to see a cut in basis points come March, May, and June, hopefully. All right. We've looked at this chart extensively through 2020 in 2023. And this is the 50-year, the 30 mortgage. For over 50 years, the 30-year mortgage rate has moved in unison with the 10-year treasury yield. So we know that that mortgage rates tend to go in unison with the treasury yield. And that over the last 50 years, on average, there have been about a 1.72 separation between the treasury yield and the current interest rates. We're at a particular time in 2023 when we looked at this where the spread is at 2.78. So we're waiting to see mid-year where this is going to end up. But I think we're going to be a lot closer to that 1.72, which is good news for buyers and sellers. So this is Natasha Watkins. This has been a long one, but we haven't been out for like the past 2 weeks, you know. I'm going to see you guys next Monday. It's Natasha Watkins, your favorite realtor. I'm out of here. Peace.